where are all these perfect answers coming from? Zach, if you're too good to be true, I'm gonna be ready to fight. We're gonna all jump you, okay? Because every single interaction was like, yes, 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 I love it. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we will be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 13, Episode 2. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. You could get my lashes too, y'all. The link is down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So first and foremost, I did not like the way they pieced together this episode. It just really felt super disjointed. Like, I knew that we were only going to get like 2 more weddings this episode, but just the way that they showed us another wedding and then they showed us wedding dress shopping for 2 other it wasn't cohesive to me. I just really wish they would just do it the way they normally do it, do all the dress shopping in the beginning and then do the weddings, because it was almost jarring how they took us from one wedding and then dress. Like, I'm not trying to go backwards, okay? So I don't know if I was the only one that felt that way. Yes, I'm going to be hypercritical of Married at First Sight from here on out, because I just don't like the way they're doing things. So maybe if we keep calling them out enough, maybe they'll go back to the old format. First things first, let's talk about Bao and Johnny. So we already saw their wedding and it was beautiful, but they also decided to do a tea ceremony, which I believe is a tradition in Vietnamese culture. You know, this is something that they both wanted to do and they both planned for it. They even picked out the same colors, basically. The whole ceremony itself was actually really beautiful. It symbolizes the joining of the 2 families, and from what we saw, Bao and Johnny served each of their sets of parents, her parents and his mom, because his dad didn't come. They both served them tea, and I really thought that was like a beautiful thing. You know, Johnny really felt a way that his dad was not there, and you know, you could kind of see it affecting him. You know what I'm saying? You could kind of see that, you know, he really wished that his dad would have just come, even though he didn't agree with it, right? It really kind of, you know, put a damper on things. I watched Unfiltered, and Bao actually said that they had a conversation that day, and she was like, look, we're gonna go to California and I'm gonna do my best to try to win him over. And I thought that was so beautiful, y'all. That really touched me. Clearly they both are very family oriented, and I just love the fact that she was like, you know, I see how you feel about this, and I'm gonna do my best to try to fix it. And y'all, that was just such a sweet moment. I'm gonna start watching Unfiltered, because I would have never known that had I not watched the show. Bao also said on Unfiltered that by the end of this wedding, Johnny had won over her entire family. They love him. And so I was like, yes, like I could totally see that. He's a very charming fellow. So I was like just really excited to hear that they are like, even their families are coming together. And I guess that jersey just didn't end up mattering, did it, Bao? I hope you learn from that situation to not jump to conclusions like moving forward, because I know she feels ridiculous with her reaction to that gift now that she's actually met him. While they were having their dance at the reception, they discussed children like already, and she said she wants no more than 2, and I was like, okay, I don't blame her. Okay, all right, because usually it ends up falling more so on the woman than it does the man, and plus the woman has to carry the children. So I really feel like the woman should have a little bit more say than the man when it comes to children, but he was fine with that. I'm just so here for Johnny and Bao. I feel like they were a great match. Experts, y'all did that. We're gonna see about the rest of these couples, you know, but for them specifically, I feel like y'all did a great job matching these 2. So let's move on to Michaela and Zach. Oh my goodness, y'all. During every single one of their scenes, when I tell you I had a huge, like, I was cheesing, skinning, and grinning the entire time, because both of them seem so genuine. I feel like they just don't mind being vulnerable. They don't mind, you know, putting it all out there and going for it. And in a way, that's really courageous, because to get on TV and just to lay all your cards out on the table like that and not hold back, that's not an easy thing to do. We see people come on here and hold back all the time, and it's so annoying. So it's really a breath of fresh air to see people really just, you could tell they both really wanted to be married and they're doing this for the right reason. And it just touched me, y'all. It did. It kind of gave me hope in this show again a little bit. So before the wedding, Michaela is getting ready and she's sitting down with her sisters, and they put it out there that Kay has a different side to her. Not only is she a little stubborn, but she can turn into Hurricane Kay. And after she gets done, like, being a storm, she'll come back and she'll apologize. And basically Michaela was like, well, whoever my husband is, I think he'll be able to handle it. Michaela, you also need to know you can't just be flipping out whenever you feel like it. Hopefully you be having good reasons for turning into a whole category 5 hurricane. Cause I like you, but you can't just be flipping out for no good reason. She also had another moment with her sister. Her father tragically passed away in a drunk driving accident, and so in remembrance of him, they gave her, something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. They gave her something blue, and it was like a Star Trek little figure. Her dad loves Star Trek. And y'all, oh my goodness, that almost broke me down. I mean, it was just a really touching moment with her and her sisters. She says she wants someone kind, open, and strong like her father. I saw a lot of people say before this episode aired that Zach probably is not ready to be married, that he's too weak, that he's never been in love. But y'all, she's never been in love either. Two, she said she wanted someone like her father, who seemed like he had a very kind heart. He was a nerd. Y'all, it kind of sound like they describing Zach, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people didn't have no faith in my boy, but I'm like, this is literally who she was describing. Because when we move over to Zach is literally in shambles, okay? I mean, full on tears, inconsolable. I mean, his brothers done hugged him as many times as they could. They like, they kind of didn't know what to do after a while. But I do like the fact that they didn't judge him, and they were very supportive of him. I'm sure they know their brother is sensitive. I didn't judge him crying in that moment because your nerves, like, I mean, as someone who experiences anxiety, I know exactly how it feels to have your anxiety be at like a level 10. And shoot, I probably would be crying just like he was, because just imagine how bad your nerves would be, not only before your wedding, but before getting married to someone you don't even know. And he truly is invested. He's not, he's not in this for play. So I thought it was a good sign that he was crying, because he was taking it seriously. I don't think he was crying like a baby. I think he was crying because it was overwhelming, and he knows what he wants, and it's finally coming. So then we have the ceremony. I love that even though he's kind of a laid back dude, he seems sort of like an introvert, he's not socially awkward. You know what I'm saying? He walked up to her mom and spoke with her, said, thank you for letting your daughter do this. He was just very, personable. When Michaela walked down the aisle, she looked amazing. Her hair was so pretty. I love like the little Kinky straight look with her dress. I mean, when they first saw each other, they both were grinning from ear to ear, like they were just so happy to see each other. Oh my goodness. When she walked up to him and like basically just called him gorgeous, like, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous. Now y'all, I usually do not like that. I don't like when women immediately compliment men and give them that much, like what Mindy did with Zach at her wedding, and she immediately was like, oh, he's just so hot, or whatever she said. You can't do that with most men, right? Because they get an ego and they use it as a weapon against you later. But I'm gonna let it fly this time, because Zach doesn't seem like somebody that would do that. He seemed like somebody that would just blush and be like, oh, she actually likes me. So that was cute. He called her gorgeous too, so it was perfect. Oh my goodness, like, I love her confidence. Like, we all need a dose of her confidence. She truly is fearless. The way her people described her was perfect, because she truly is like fearless. He asked her, are you nervous? And she was like, I'm just excited. And she asked him, was he nervous? And he was like, yeah. She was like, I got you. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They just had the perfect banter up there. It's as if they knew each other. Like when she first heard his name was Zach, she was like, do you want a Zachary Jr.? And he was like, that's up to you. And I'm like, Zach, why do you keep saying, like, he know exactly what to say? Like, where are all these perfect answers coming from? Zach, if you're too good to be true, I'm gonna be ready to fight. We're gonna all jump you, okay? Because every single interaction was like, yes, 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 I love it. I mean, Zach even had his vows memorized. And they were beautiful vows, by the way. Like, the fact that he knew them by heart. And she said her vows were beautiful too. And, you know, at the end, they had a nice little smooch. It was just like a beautiful ceremony, y'all. Like, this is ideal for how you would want meeting a stranger at the altar to go, I would think. So when they had their first convo, she found out that he was younger than her. During his family speech, they said he was a Renaissance man, and she basically asked, you know, why did they call you that? And he said, well, his dad, when they were younger, taught him how to crochet and make lotion. And she was like, okay, you know, we could probably use that eventually. He was like, well, I don't know how to crochet as much. No, lean into it, Zach. It's okay to know how to crochet. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But she said if she had to rate their chemistry so far, it's a 9. I'm like, dang, that's about almost as good as it's gonna get on this show. You know what I'm saying? They had crazy chemistry. They just seemed very comfortable and genuine with one another. And y'all, I feel like Helga. I'm so excited for them. I'll be so hurt if they don't make it, y'all. Not after this wedding. Y'all gonna have to fight, okay? Y'all gonna have to fight for this because we invested, okay? So let's move on to Gil and Mirla. Mirla is very picky. She's very particular about everything, basically. I already said this, but she reminds me of Olivia from past seasons, the one that was married to Brett. Because she's very high maintenance, and it's like she doesn't really want to change her lifestyle in any way. It's almost like she doesn't want to compromise anything. She just wants to drop a husband to like fit in what her routine already is. And that's not, I don't know if that's going to work in the long run, especially seeing as they have a few things that they differ on that could possibly be deal breakers later on. So when Mirla's getting her makeup done, Mirla said out of her own mouth that she doesn't wear makeup. So how you gonna tell the makeup artist how to do your makeup? I don't know. Like, and I'm speaking as someone who knows how to do makeup. If the makeup artist knows what she's doing, regardless of like how much makeup she's using, she can make you look like you don't even have anything on. There's this thing called a no makeup look, where you're wearing makeup but you look like you're not. It just makes you look refreshed, and a good makeup artist knows how to do that. All she wanted was for her to dust some like translucent powder. Girl, at least get a little concealer, at least get a little blood, you know what I'm saying? Do a little something extra for your wedding day. I understand wanting what you want on your wedding day, but a professional knows a little bit more than you do. And also the way that she was speaking to the makeup artist was coming off as a little bit rude. So I don't know, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. So as far as the ceremony goes, she did look beautiful. The dress was beautiful. It was very revealing, but he obviously didn't have no problem with that, because she said if he wasn't gonna like her dress, then he's too conservative for her, but he loved the dress, so you don't have to worry about that. She was a little bit thrown off, obviously, because he was bald-headed, but she immediately got past it because he was attractive anyway. Like, what's the thing against bald heads again? I would much rather for a man to be bald, like shave their head bald, than have a receding hairline and them hold on to that. Like, I think men should embrace having bald heads, and, you know, especially the older you get, just embrace being bald. Let's not discriminate against bald heads, because I haven't seen some nice looking bald headed men, right? And anyway, in this situation, being bald headed, like, very minuscule in the scheme of things. If that's going to keep you from being happy with somebody, you should have never signed up for this show in the first place. So I'm so happy she got past it very quick. So during her friend's speech, during her friends and family speech about her, they really put her on blast. Like, they put all of her high maintenance ways on blast. And so, you know, she gonna have to accept his bald head, and he gonna have to accept the fact that she's high maintenance if they gonna be together, child. Because clearly that's a very big part of her personality. They say even if she's gonna go give clothes to the homeless, she's gonna be in her designer. So he already said before that he doesn't want a high maintenance woman, but I wonder, is his attraction to her gonna outweigh that? Because he seems to be enamored by her already. They said their vows and everything, and she made him kiss her on the cheek just like she said she was gonna do. It was a little bit awkward. Girl, you could kiss this man. She said, I don't want to kiss him on the lips because he's still a stranger. I don't know him. Girl, you're married to him. You're legally bound to him, and you can't even kiss him. It's your decision. Nobody should make you do anything you don't want to do. But I'm just like, but you married to him though, like I guess, child. So when they sat down and had their first conversation, they find out that both of them come from Spanish speaking households. I think that's great because they'll automatically understand each other's culture. I thought it was great that he went up to her mom and, you know, introduced himself in their native tongue. That was great. I feel like, you know, they'll be able to bond on that. She also said that her friend was originally asked to be on the show, but I guess she offered up Mirla instead because Mirla was the one ready for a family. That kind of solidifies the fact that this show does go out and recruits people. They kind of put that on Front Street. They also discussed children. She only wants to have 1 or 2. He was a little bit hesitant at first, but he just went along with it. And she was like, and yeah, we're gonna have a mommy makeover afterwards. And, you know, he seemed a little thrown off. He said he was a trainer at one point, so I guess he's going to want to do the mommy makeover, you know, training. And I'm thinking she's talking about getting a body lift or whatever you do, whatever a mommy makeover is, like a breast lift, you know, liposuction, whatever you get. And so I wonder how he's going to feel if she actually does want to go through with the surgery. They both are passionate about working out. They both are passionate about giving back. So they do seem to have a little bit in common, but I feel like they're going to butt heads on this high maintenance thing. And on top of that, you know, he has a dog and she's not a dog person. And she even told Pastor Cal, no dogs. And he has a whole dog, a pit bull at that. And look, y'all might not agree with me. I'm not a dog person either, okay? I'm not an animal person, period. So if I went on this show and I told Pastor Cal, I don't like dogs, and you match me up with someone that loves dogs or has a dog, I'm going to feel a way about that because I'm not a dog person at all. Like, I don't want the dog in the house. So that would really bother me. And if I was Mirla, I might have been really upset about that because she said it's about the pet hair. And maybe it is about the pet hair for her. Maybe she just don't like pet hair everywhere. I really wouldn't like that either. But it's just me. I wouldn't even want a pet in the house. So I feel like that's kind of wrong to match somebody up who said they're not a dog person with someone who is. Because that could really cause issues in the future. It really could. Because he might want her to, you know, love that dog. And she might not ever. You know what I'm saying? She might not ever connect with that dog. And he might feel a way about that. He might become bitter. Because, you know, some people love their dogs like children. So I wonder how that's going to affect them in the future as well. But they did seem to have more chemistry. Like, y'all, I do think y'all need to kind of give Mirla a little bit more of a chance. You know, even though she was very particular about her makeup and she's kind of she said that she didn't want somebody with a bald head. I don't know. I didn't really see much about Mirla to make me truly dislike her. Like, say for instance, she saw Gil was bald headed and she didn't give him a chance from that point on. I would be completely on your side. Like, yeah, you're right. You know, she's, you know, too superficial for this show. But she was willing to look past that. So that kind of gave me a little bit more of hope between these two. And yeah, we'll see as time goes on. Maybe I have to come back and say y'all was right. But for now, I feel like she might be getting a little bit of a bad edit. Because you know they have to have a villain every season, right? And it just seems like they're looking to make Mirla the villain of this season. But we'll see, you guys. You let me know what you feel down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.